chief, her governor, her educator and disciplinarian if she deviates from proper manners. He is supposed to ensure that she maintains the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's supposed to stop her from committing acts of corruption. In this verse, Allah Azza wa Jal clarifies why He has made man to be the maintainers and protectors of women. Qala ta'ala, بِمَا فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ وَبِمَا أَنفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. Allah has made one of them to excel the other, and because they spend to support them from their means. There are a number of things that Allah, the All-Wise, the All-Knower, Al-Hakim and Alim, has preferred men over women. Not that men themselves have preferred themselves over women, but it was Allah who subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave the man the preference over the lady. It was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave the man the darajah, who gave him the degree. It was Allah who subhanahu wa ta'ala who made him responsible for numbers of things. Allah preferred that it be a man or that it be men that should be his prophets. There were no women who were the messengers of Allah. One of the most important jobs, if not the most important job, was to convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to human beings. Allah who subhanahu wa ta'ala chose that it be men who convey the message to human beings about His wahdaniyah, about His oneness, about His paradise, about His fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose men to do this. Allah preferred that His prophets and messengers be men. He subhanahu wa ta'ala has preferred that rulers over the affairs of the people, Al-Imamatul Kubra, the Khalifa, the one who would rule the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preferred, giving the man the preference that he would be the ruler. Al-Imamatul Sughra, the Imam of Salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preferred that be a man. He gave a man or gave men that preference. It is men who are the leaders of the world. It is men who are the leaders of their families. It's men who are the leaders of the street. It's men who are the leaders in decency. It's men who are the leaders in the huquqillah. It's men who are the ones who are supposed to be just and maintain justice between the people. It's the men who are supposed to support. It's the men who are raising of children upon their shoulders and not upon the shoulders of the women. And Allah has given man the larger portion of the acts of worship than He gave to women. It is a man who must worship Allah every single day. There's no mention to stop him from worshiping Allah. There's no mention to stop him from praying. There's no mention to stop him from fasting. Rather, his job is continuous and ongoing until he dies. And there's nothing in the way of a man except that man. His understanding, his devotion, his sincerity, his desire to please his Lord, or the opposite of that. Allah has preferred that judges be men, that the judges in the courts, that they are men in Islamic courts, and judges are not women in Islamic courts. The prophets, the judges, the husbands, the strugglers to defend the Islamic world from the incursion of those who would incur upon it belong to men. All those things were given to men. All those duties were given to men. And so men can hardly afford to be asleep under a wheel. And men can hardly afford to find some hole to dive into to duck the duty. A man cannot duck the duty. He can only sleep on it. Sleep on the duty. He can sleep on it. But he won't duck. It's not a job for a duck. This is not a job for a rabbit. In Arabic, a rabbit is a scared beast who hides in a hole. If he leaves that hole, he goes to another hole. That's all he knows. Eat and hide in a hole. That's a rabbit. Hole hunter. That's a rabbit. This is not the job for a rabbit. Not for a rabbit. kidnapped, they call it in Arabic. It's not a job for a rabbit. In light of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. O believers, ward off from yourselves and your families a fire, meaning hell, whose fuel is men and stones, over which are appointed angels, stern and severe, who do not disobey, executing the commands they receive from Allah. Rather, they do that which they were commanded. وقال تعالى وأمر أهلك بالصلاة واصطبر عليها لا نسألك رزقا نحن نرزقك والعاقبة للتقوى. And enjoy the salah on your family and be patient in offering the salah. We do not ask you for provision. We provide for you the good end, meaning paradise, and the end is for the muttaqun, those who have taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also praised the Prophet Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam by saying, وَاذْكُرْ فِي كِتَابِ إِسْمَاعِيلَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صَادِقَ الْوَعْدِ وَكَانَ رَسُولًا نَبِيًّا وَكَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ وَكَانَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِ مَرْضِيًّا. And mentioned in the book of the Quran, mentioned Ismail. Verily, he was true to what he promised, and he was a messenger and a prophet, and he used to enjoin on his family and his people of salah and of zakah, and his Lord was pleased with him. Men have also been preferred by Allah to have more overall razana, more composure, more seriousness